What effect will the 2025 Mahakumbh have on India's soft power? How does the world look at this festival? The BBC described the Mahakumbh as naked, ash smeared ascetics to lead India bathing spectacle. But the BBC calls in England's nudist festival the biggest naturist festival. How come some traditions are seen as natural while others are judged differently? What are your thoughts on this? Okay, let me take the second question first. What are my thoughts on what the BBC has said? Well, they are simply doing what they've always been doing: super racist, super Hindu phobic, and they hate India. And the BBC is this old, antiquated, colonial era organism, legacy media organization of the British Empire, and they have the good old British Raj era attitudes towards India. And they obviously are extremely jealous of the fact that India has gone way past the UK in terms of geopolitical relevance and hard power. So they are very jealous, and they are very resentful of India. And the Hindu phobia obviously has always been a component of their India coverage. And they will often use Indian origin people to peddle this Hindu phobia. And the BBC, what's been happening in the UK, right? It's all around. It's now finally, after several decades, become big news. The rape scandal. I don't know how many thousands l- of of little English girls were exploited by Pakistani rape gangs. It was going on for decades. And what did the BBC do about that? Everyone knew about this. They kept mum. And these shameless people who should never be allowed to show their face in public, or to put out an article again, they have the temerity to peddle this Hinduphobia against us. These people should be ashamed of themselves. Not just the BBC, the entire nation of the UK should be ashamed of itself. Absolute set of losers. So that's all I have to say about the BBC and the UK overall. A bunch of losers. They have no right to criticize anybody for anything for the next 1000 years. Shameless people. Can't take care of your own daughters, and you're gonna judge others. Shameless people. Um, so yeah, that's my response to the second question. What effect will the 2025 Mahakumbh have on India's soft power? None. See, why will it have no effect on India's soft power? It's because Hinduism isn't cool. It's not even cool in India. I mean, if you see the comments you see on Indian social media about the Mahakumbh, half of them are negative and Hindu-phobic. Indians are ashamed of their own culture and traditions. Indians are tremendously deracinated, and nobody sees Hinduism as cool. Unless a culture is seen as cool, it's going to have no positive effect on your soft power. Maybe it will have a negative effect on your soft power, but it doesn't mean we give up our culture. So I don't see the Mahakumbh as being something relevant on a global geopolitical stage. I don't see it as something that will positively impact India's soft power. The majority of the world doesn't care, and whoever is noticing this, they will see it as a very strange representation of a strange pagan, uh, non-Abrahamic culture, and they don't get it, and they don't care, and most of them will look at it negatively. So that's just the way it is. How should we care? How do we care what people think? How do we care what the world thinks about us? We are 1.4 billion of us, right? How do we care?